Yo, everybody, how you doing? So, the Eagles open up training camp today. We shall see what happens. We shall see where it goes. And always, the weirdest thing in these instances, for me, is does anybody even come in the room? If nobody even comes in the room, what do? It's kind of weird, right? Definitely kind of weird. I always am like, are there anybody in the room? Is anybody coming in the room? And you don't know. Then you see somebody say something. You're like, oh, cool, somebody's in the room. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Chris? Then I take my glasses off after people come in the room because I don't want them to see my eyes until they come in the room. Now, the Eagles opened up training camp today. They signed some Australian League football dude. And the story yesterday was Sidney Jones. Sidney Jones is on the active list, which I think is a bad mistake. How you all doing out there? Chris K. Wentz didn't look good, I heard. And you know what? If he stinks, if Wentz stinks, they better fire everybody. They better fire everybody. But I don't think he's going to stink. What's up? How you doing, Jorge? What's up, buddy? How are ya? So, want to talk a little Eagles? It's Eagle time. I'm excited. So nice to have football back. It is very, very nice to have football back. Now, you're saying Wentz look good. I heard Wentz look good right now. Wentz look bad. Which one is it? Can't be both. I know he threw an ugly-looking interception today. I heard Matt Collins drop the bomb. You know, with his true wide receiver, we'll do good. Yeah, the veterans aren't even there yet, so it's you know, you can't worry about that. We're so hypersensitive and worried. You know what I mean? EDP 45 is a slob. What's up, Philly 500? What's up, buddy? How you doing? Not the backup scrubs. I agree, Chris. I mean, really, you can't get over worried because he makes one bad throw. It's like we're so worried that one bad throw, we're like, you know, we're freaking out about it. One good throw, one bad throw, it's not the end of the world. It's going to happen. It's practice. Stuck watching the Cowboys training camp, nothing else. Yeah, that's what I have on, too. They just cut Lucky Woodhead, or whatever the hell his name is. They just cut him. Another dingbat Cowboy getting arrested, getting in trouble. And I think, because I think they're doing a conspiracy theory with Ezekiel Elliott, this was part of the plan. You have to cut this guy if you're going to, you know, if Zeke Elliott is going to get off scot-free. So you look like you're doing something. I know he was shoplifting, but he says he was in a different state and he has flight records and everything. Well, you know, to me, yo, what's up, Fester? I think that when you have a league that doesn't even care if somebody's convicted or not, that just on suspicion alone, they think they have the authority to fine you, to cut you, and to treat you like a criminal, something's really screwed up. And the NFL is screwed up when it comes to that. And the players, when they redo their, you know, contracts, they need to get the commissioner, you know, less power. You know, you should only be able to fine or to suspend somebody when they've been convicted. When they haven't been convicted, they're supposed to be presumed innocent. How can you shoplift when you're not, when you're on NFL salary? Well, that, Jesse, that's like, that makes it hard for me to even believe it happened. You know, unless the guy goes out and spends all his money. I mean, I don't know how much money he has, but, you know, off season they spend all their money and then they're just dying for season to get here. Greg Ward made an insane one-handed grab. That's cool. I heard about that. Do you think Dak will come down with Nick Foles syndrome this year? Everyone says he's going to be even better. I think he comes down with Nick Foles syndrome. I think he may end up being better than Nick Foles and being a legitimate starter, but he's going to go through a jinx this year. He has to go through some bad times. It was too easy for him last year. Hold on one second. Now back. What you want? What you want? Come on. Yeah. No. You know, Gibson proved it was not a good one. Look, we got to stop worrying about all these little things. It don't matter. If a guy has a bad day at practice, it's okay. What does he do when it's a game? What's up, AR-10? How you doing? You have an AR-10? I need to get one. Quentin, hi. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing, Quentin? You know, look, every little throw isn't going to make a difference. Who do you think will win the NFC? I think the Falcons have the best chance. That's a good question. I'm working on it. I have my NFC West predictions coming out. I will say this, when I look at the NFC South, I think it's very hard for a team that loses in the Super Bowl to come back the next year and do good. It just doesn't happen much. To lose the way the Falcons lost, do you see how the Falcons lost? That, to me, is like, I don't know. I just think the Falcons are going to have that Super Bowl hangover. I really do. And I like Tampa. I think Tampa's a rising team. I do think Atlanta is probably the most talented. Their schedule is brutal, that's right. But I mean, how do you come back from losing that way? The way they lost to the Patriots. I mean, I feel bad for them. Do you think they will cut Sproles if Pumphrey is doing extremely well in training camp? If not, then we'll have to see. Okay, so I don't think they'll cut Sproles, and I would not cut Sproles. And I'm going to tell you, I watched today, and I watched Pumphrey. He looks small. He looks very small to me. And I don't think you can think he's going to do so good that he's going to take over Sproles. I think you're selling Sproles short. How dynamic, how good he is, how strong he is. I mean, Sproles is a strong dude. Strong dude, man, with big legs. How did Wentz do? I heard he did bad. I heard he had an okay average day. I heard he threw an interception. He missed a couple bombs. And, yeah, I think he didn't have a great day. Yeah, I get it, but I improved unlike the Panthers. I get your argument. It's hard to argue. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Look, I think that probably the Falcons are probably the most complete team in the NFC overall. I just don't know how many teams have won a Super Bowl. I mean, lost a Super Bowl, especially the way the Falcons lost the Super Bowl, and then come back and be able to play good. It just doesn't happen often. Is it possible? Yeah. The one thing I think the Falcons have is they're good at home. How did the Patriots get to open up at the Chiefs? Isn't it supposed to be a rematch against the Falcons opening? Not all the time they don't. I think Denver played on the road too, I think. Who will win MVP? MVP... Here's what, in a perfect world, it would be Carson Wentz. I think probably Brady. You probably have Brady. You have Rodgers. Those are guys you know that are going to be involved. And then there'll be somebody who nobody expects that comes out and plays great. And I hope that will be Carson Wentz. I hope he'll play that good. But I would always give the two favorites to Brady and Rodgers. I mean, if you take Brady off the Patriots, well, actually, he missed 4 games and they still won. You take Rodgers off the Packers, Rodgers goes off the Packers. The Packers, I bet you they don't even make the playoffs. He is seriously the most important player on that team. I think they would win like 5 or 6 games without Rodgers. Well, I look at like Golden State Warriors. They were just so good the hangover didn't affect them. Yeah, but they had won before that. I mean, Golden State won. Then they lost, then they won again. But I also say that football is a different dynamic. I mean, just go back to history. If we just look at history of football, look at all the teams over the last few years that have lost the Super Bowl. What have they done the following year? I mean, it's very hard to go back twice. It can happen. I'm not saying it can't. I don't want to say it can't. That's just my biggest concern when it comes to the Falcons. And seriously, if you think about the Falcons, really, if that's my biggest concern, that means they're pretty good. Eagles will go 10-6. Yeah, I hope they go 10-6. I definitely do, you know. I got to tell you something though, about the Eagles, because something bothering me about the Eagles today. So I'm gonna tell you what I think. Okay? What's up, R.I.P. Little? Rip Little. I like it. Listen, Eagles are putting Sidney Jones on the active roster. They intend to try to play this guy this year. That's stupidity. That's dingbatness. There's nothing good that comes from playing him this year. What can come that's going to be so good for you to play Sidney Jones and rush him back? I don't get it. I think it's a humongous mistake. A humongous mistake. Because you got a rookie who's changing leagues, who's going to come back from an Achilles injury. Achilles! Not a finger, not a hand, an Achilles. I think it's insane, and I hope that they don't play him. How did the Eagles corners do today? I especially like Grant. I don't know. I don't think, you know, I mean, a lot of the vets aren't even there yet. I think it's very hard to tell what people are doing right now. Let everybody show up. When everybody comes, then we'll figure it out. But I don't know that anybody did great, anybody bad. I just heard, what I heard was Wentz looked shaky. Rank these wide receivers: Torrey Smith, Jordan Matthews, or Aguilar. So I would go Jordan Matthews, Torrey Smith, and Aguilar. SwissCon, can you give me a shout? Shout out to SwissCon. What language? I don't even know what that means. I mean, it means, hey, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? You know? I don't know. But, you know, the Eagles, it scares me a little bit with this Sidney Jones thing. You know what's up with the Dolphins? What do you mean? Sorry, Phil, I disagree about Sidney. Mental hurdle worries me more than physical. Well, Sean, how can you mentally be prepared to play in the NFL when you're mentally worried about your Achilles? I don't understand why you put so much on the guy's plate. He's mentally going to come out, try to get used to the speed of the game, try to get used to everything and all the aspects of the NFL. And he's mentally going to be worried if his Achilles holds up. I don't understand why you put him in that situation. You're giving him too much. They say week 9, I'd be okay week 12. I would be okay week 1 next year. Like I said, I don't understand why you have to rush him back. I mean, do the Eagles really think they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year? That you need him? Do they think that their corner situation is that bad right now? You know what I mean? I don't understand it. Holly Way, I messaged Russell Douglas on the Messenger app and he messaged me back. Oh yeah, what did he say? What did he say? Tell him to knock Aguilar's ass off. It's that bad. Yeah. I have no idea how the Dolphins will be this year. Do you? Just curious. I haven't gone through their schedule yet. When I go through the AFC East, I'll let you know. I'll do a thing on it. Won't be worried about the injury no matter when he debuts. I don't know. I think it's very crazy to start him with an Achilles or to play him this year. To me, what it tells me, in my opinion, is that what you're saying that you're so desperate for wins and a good season because you want to keep your job. That's why you go out and you just bring in a bunch of one-year players, because you're just trying to get your wins blown up. And you're so desperate that you're willing to bring this guy back a year too soon to play because you're desperate to win. I think it's crazy. I think it's nuts. I would not play Sidney Jones. I told him, welcome to Philadelphia, and he's glad to Eagle. He said, thanks, man. That's pretty cool. Sounds like a nice guy. Do not play Sidney Jones this season. I agree. I wouldn't, but I think they're going to. I think they're going to now. Lattimore or Barnett? I'd take Lattimore. What's the toughest game on the Eagles' schedule? I would say, it's interesting. I think that Panthers game Thursday night. I think that Raiders game at home. I think probably the hardest road game is the Seattle game. Yeah, that's smart. They can draft a corner next year in the first round, and then they have fully rested Jones with first-round talent, and if they want to sign vets to mentor him, that helps. I agree. The Eagles won't risk Sidney at all. He won't play unless he checks all the boxes. Yeah, but the thing is why is he coming in on the active roster? That, to me, that tells me they want to play him. They're going to push him. I think the Eagles are going to push him out too early. He's going to struggle. People are going to get down on him, and it's because he's not ready and because of his injury and all those things. That's what I say. He's showing them he can play. Well, but what do you get by it? What do you get by having Sidney Jones play this year? You're not going to the Super Bowl, okay? I don't know. See, I think there's something about letting him sit on the bench, letting him, follow Malcolm Jenkins around. Learn how to play. Watch the plays. Watch from the sideline. Learn all the mental aspects of it. Get it all set. And then next year, go in and don't worry about anything. NFL Total Access is really loving the Cowboys now. They're going to talk about the Birds next. All they do is talk about the stinking Cowboys. It's all I hear about. The Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys. I don't care. I hate the Cowboys. They stink. Okay? Listen. The NFL Network is like run by Jerry Jones. You understand that, right? He runs the show. And that's why it's always Cowboys, this, always that. Why would you hire Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders? The two most annoying people in the world are on their network. Or were. Rasul's a nice dude. Yeah, sounds like he is. They do stink. Travis, what's up, buddy? Travis is always there with me on Twitter. I appreciate it, buddy. What's up, Gregory? How you doing? Guys, these questions come in really quick, so I'm doing the best I can to get them all. If I don't answer them, just keep sending them out and I'll try to get to them. But they come quick and furious on this thing. It's like boom, 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 boom. Then it disappears. You know, Philly 500 says he's scared as hell if they're going to play Sidney Jones. Donovan or Michael? Donovan or Michael, what do you mean? Michael Jordan? Michael who? Michael Irvin? Cowboys Access is all that's on my TV right now. Yeah, that's me on mine too. Mine too. Philly 500, you the main Eagles YouTuber, not main Eagles YouTuber, so expect a lot of subs. Prime Time Sports, thanks buddy, thanks for being here. What veteran corner should Eagles pick up if they pick one? I mean, to me, if you're going to pick up a veteran corner and one that's out right now, I mean, then you might as well get, what's his face, from the Jets. What the hell's his name? I can't remember. Did you hear the Dallas Lucky Whitehead? Yeah, Lucky Whitehead's being released. Yeah, now let me tell you, Gregory, this is what it is. See, this is my thing. Revis, Benjamin. Here's the thing with it. They cut Luckhead, whatever, Whitehead, Luckhead, Dumbhead, Dingbaghead, because they made a secret deal to get Ezekiel Elliott off with no suspensions, no anything like that. So when they do that, what they have to do is they have to be hard on somebody else to look like they're fair. But to me, it's all a conspiracy. It's all a joke, and that's really why. That's why they cut him. Can you recap what you heard about training camp today? Any notable things? Well, I heard that they signed a tight end from Australia. I heard that Wentz looked shaky. I heard that he was missing some guys. Matt Collins dropped the ball. He should have had. Wentz threw a bad interception. He had a couple good passes, but he was real up and down. I heard that Pumphrey looked good. I heard that Derek Barnett was kind of, just out there, not really doing anything. Couldn't make good determination one way or the other. And then I heard that a lot about Sidney Jones being on the active roster. It looks like the way they're going, that they're going to try to play him this year. Did you hear about the segment on NFL Network where they talked about a possible Giants and Patriots Super Bowl rematch? No, but I'm not surprised. You're going to have your Dallas stuff, then you're going to have your Giants stuff, and the Eagle fans and the Eagles are going to get ignored, but we're going to be there, and we're going to kick you guys' butts this year. Broncos game will be tough. Their defense is still a beast. Yeah, I think the Eagles beat the Broncos. I don't like the Broncos quarterback. I don't like their offense. I think the Eagles can beat them. I think right around that Bronco game is like a bye. I think after the Broncos game is a bye, then they got the Cowboys. I think that's when the Eagles, I think that's when they're going to start to play good. I think that's when they start to get on a roll. They're getting used to each other. Alshon and Carson are on the same page, and I think that's when they go start going on a run. Dylan, you're a cool dude. Keep it. Thanks, Dylan, buddy. I appreciate it. You too. How did the cornerbacks do? I didn't really hear one way or the other about the corners. I heard a couple guys made interceptions, but nothing that was like, hey, this guy looked really good today. I didn't hear anything like that. Corey Clement was good. I heard nothing on Corey Clement. Thank you, Swiss. I appreciate that. Who's better quarterback, Blake Bortles or Jared Goff? Blake Bortles. I mean, look, I think Blake Bortles, he does a lot of turnover stuff, but he has shown times that he could possibly be good. He has shown times, and I got a weird feeling that the Jaguars with Fournette and some sort of running game with their receiving core, because they have good receivers, and Bortles on a rebound year are going to be, I'm not saying they're going to get to the wild card yet. I'm not going to say it. I think they're going to be in the conversation for wild card going into the last week of the year. My focus is only on the opener. One game at a time. Must win against the Redskins. Sean, I agree. Got to beat the Redskins. The Eagles haven't beat the Redskins in a long time. If the Eagles start the season and they go and they lose again to the Redskins, everybody is going to feel right away that, hey, the Eagles are the same old Eagles. That's what I think. Fournette is way better than Zeke. Man, I love Fournette, Richard Lawrence. I love Fournette. Fournette was like the guy, the main guy I would have loved to have would have been Fournette. Appreciate it, Philly. Thanks for the benefit of the doubt. Well, I'm just trying to be fair, Jag. I mean, The year before, Bortles threw like 30-something touchdowns. You don't just throw 30-something touchdowns and then you're worse than Jared Goff, who don't know where the sun comes up. It don't make sense. You know what I mean? Jared Goff is a dope. He's like Eli Manning on steroids. That's what I think of him when I look at him. He looks like he's got all the dopey parts of Eli Manning. Falcons will beat the Cowboys. I agree, Michael. They'll beat their ass. Beat the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys, dude. I'm so sick of looking at this team. I feel like I have to pray when they come on TV because all I see is a satanic star. It's a pentagram. It's a satanic star. That is one evil team. Evil empire, evil team. I mean, even Jerry Jones looks like something out of Star Wars. Doesn't he look like the evil emperor? He really does. He looks like the evil emperor. That is one evil team. No doubt about it. Hollyway. I really want Kyle Fuller. Well, in that cornerback question, I didn't even think of Kyle Fuller because isn't he under contract? And we're talking about free agents out there, Jags have excellent receivers. Yeah, they really do. Julio will murder their secondary. Yeah, he will. I love Julio Jones, man. I tell you, I thought Corey Davis, Corey Davis has a little bit of Julio Jones in him to me. That's who I see, kind of. I see a little Julio and a little T.O. If Dallas O-line gets injured, they will lose yeah, I think Dallas is going to lose 8 to 9 games this year. I really think. I think I had him in my prediction. I think I had him 7-9. I think that's fair. I really do. I think Dallas is up for a big rude awakening. And it's not because I'm saying, when I say, I'm not, to the Cowboy fans out there, I'm not trying to say, you hate the Cowboys, you hate us, you just, no, I just think you're due for things to come back to reality. I want Ridley for the wide receiver next year. Maybe. To me, it's too soon. The only guy I want is Barkley from Penn State. That's the only guy my mind is on for the draft right now. Julio don't talk trash or cry. Julio is so good. He's so talented. Who do you draft in the first round next year? Too early to say. I mean, if I had my dream scenario, I want Barkley from Penn State. I want that running back. I think having a running back like him would be awesome, But, it is what it is. Who's playing? And I don't know this. Are the Cowboys playing in the Hall of Fame game? Is that why everybody's is their whole camp there early? I think everybody's at their camp. I think their camp opened early. Cowboys, yeah, they're in the Hall of Fame game. What the hell? They're in the Hall of Fame game every year, it seems. Did you see how they'll visit that kid with cancer? The guy who represents my favorite team. you people are nuts. Did you see him? Did you see him act like a dingbat on a boat in Miami the week before the playoffs? I remember that. He's on your favorite team. My dream scenario is getting Le'Veon Bell in free agency next year. He got franchise tag. I know. The Fiji. Is it the Fiji or the Fiji? The Fiji? Whatever it is, I agree. Le'Veon Bell, I got my eye on you. I got my eye on you. Yo, I got my eye on you, Le'Veon Bell, because you don't get signed by Pittsburgh, you're coming to Philly. Thoughts on Lucky Whitehead? No problem, Bobby. My thoughts are this. I have a big problem in general with the NFL ever taking legal action or suspending a guy or convicting a guy without being convicted in court. Secondly, I think the Luckhead thing, Whitehead, whatever the hell, dingbat head, I think it was because they had the whole Zeke Elliott thing they covered up. They had to be hard on somebody to show that they're fair. And that was just part of the cover-up of the Zeke Elliott thing. I don't think he was cut for any other reason than the Cowboys had to look like they care about those kind of things that they don't. I actually think Bell won't be a Steeler in 2018. Well, look, he turned down apparently a lot of money. And, that could very well happen. You know what I mean? It could very well happen. Des Bryant showed up 3 hours late. Did he really? What a dingbat. I love it. The Cowboys are already... You can already see the internal problems going on with the Cowboys. They're cockroaches. Cockroaches. I think Barkley is... I have to see more of Geese or Geese Juice, whatever. I haven't really seen him. Landry is a true number one. Landry. I don't know what it is. I keep calling him Lucky Head, White Head, Dingbat Head. It works for me. You know what I mean? That whole team is a dingbat head. Making out with the next smooch. What? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I mean, I'm watching. I got the Cowboys are doing drills. They got their hands on their hips. They're already breathing heavy. They ain't ready for training camp. They want to go party and have fun. They're mentally checked out. You can see the Cowboys are going to be a disaster. Where will you rank Devontae in running back? I'd say 5 or 6. That's a good question. I'll tell you what. Banner. Goomba. What's up, Banner? I think Freeman is really good, and he's another guy who I may seriously consider trying to get if he's a free agent. Cowboys already, Michael, yeah, Cowboys are already gone. Dude, think about it. They already got all these problems. Now you're telling me Des Bryant was 3 hours late? What you'll hear that he was late. Then you'll hear them say that wasn't true, something out. And then all the Cowboy fans will start saying, no, that's not true. This is what really happened. This is what really happens. They always have an excuse. They always have an excuse because they're the stinking Cowboys. But all of it going on, it tells you that stuff ain't right in Dallas. Already you can see that Dallas is having problems. They're going to have a disaster year. Disaster. I think 5 or 6 on Freeman, by the way. I think about 6. Good. I don't know. I hope not. Yeah, Cowboys defense is doo-doo. I agree. I mean, Sean Lee is probably, he's a legitimate professional. You know what I mean? I like how he carries himself. But man, you know, with Elliott, and then you have Prescott, and then you get Des Bryant, then you have Dingbat Head. You have all these people. It looks like the Cowboys are already starting this crap. It's already set up for them to have a disaster year. Randy Gregory is a huge thing. Randy Gregory, let me tell you, that guy will smoke it. He will drink it. He will sniff it. He will lick it. He don't care what it is. He'll do it. And that guy is seriously messed up. He's got serious problems. And of course, the Cowboys drafted him. Would you expect anything? Would you expect anything less? I wouldn't. How do you feel about Skip Bayless? Skip Bayless gets on my nerves. He just gets on my nerves. I think whatever is going to cause an argument or disagreement, Skip Bayless is going to say it. So I don't think some of the stuff, I don't even think he cares or he has a real opinion. To me, he comes off like somebody just going to say whatever. Stephen A. Smith is probably having a field day with all the going on at Dallas. Yeah, he is, because he's going to look great because he's been saying it. I love the Dallas Philly Files. Screw the media. That's right, screw the media. Look, Jerry Jones has got a big voice in the NFL, and he pushes things. I'm sorry, but you look how quickly Michael Irvin got into the Hall of Fame. Look how long it took Art Monk. I'm sorry, but he got in because he's a Cowboy. Everything that is a Dallas Cowboy is always like 10% better. You know? Jerry Jones looks like he's a bunch of crack. Jerry Jones looks like he's a bunch of crack, no offense. Yeah. Who will the Jets choose with the #1 pick next year? With my luck, they'll probably take Barkley. Whoever the best player in the draft is and the most logical choice, the Jets will not take him. I guarantee it. I have them taking Josh. Jets always screwed up. Did you ever watch the 30 for 30 on ESPN about the 83-84 draft with Dan Marino, John Elway, and the Jets took I forget, they took like Pat Ryan or something ridiculous. They could have had Dan Marino. Josh Allen is a beast, and Sam Darnold. Yeah, I agree. The Jets would pick the core Sam Darnold UFC. Maybe. Or they're going to pick whoever the field goal kicker is. Maybe they'll take a tight end too. Yeah, Ken O'Brien. Ken O'Brien over Dan Marino. This happens to them all the time. Dude, the Jets fans know more than the Jets organization does. You can go look at like the drafts the last 25 years. Listen to who the fans want, and then watch who the Jets get. And the Jets are always wrong, and the fans are always right. It happens every time. I think Sam Darnold is staying in school another year, maybe. Next year, quarterbacks will be way better than this year's quarterbacks. Yeah, they say that too a lot, though. I mean, last year they said that there was going to be 6 quarterbacks coming out of this draft, and it really wasn't, you know. So it just you don't really know until they play this year. Who's your favorite Eagles player, Anish? Do you mean all time or current? I would say all time. My number 1 would be Reggie White. Current is Carson Wentz. And if I have to go non-quarterback, I'll go Jordan Hicks. I love Jordan Hicks. Even though he broke his hand, I still love him. I'm still shocked that McNabb didn't win you guys a Super Bowl. To tell you the truth, McNabb was a beast. McNabb, I have mixed feelings about this because there's things about McNabb that I used to be like, you see a lot of people who are like, the Eagles can do no wrong. The quarterback can do no wrong. Everything's going to be great. I was very much like that in the early days of McNabb. My dad used to argue with me all the time. He used to say, McNabb is a 9-to-5 guy. He just goes there, he does his job, he goes home. It doesn't hurt him. He doesn't seem like it hurts him if he doesn't win. And I didn't believe it. But after I saw him, when he didn't know the rules that you could have a tie, I lost a lot of respect for McNabb there. I still think he's the greatest quarterback in franchise history. And I blame most of the losses and not winning a Super Bowl, not on McNabb, really. I actually blame the front office because all those years they were going to championship game, they just needed to keep who they had and go out and get one guy, and they didn't do it. It took them until they got Owens to finally do it. 800 yards last season sucks, Richard. Are you talking about Ertz? Ertz, come on. What's with this Ertz? Ertz. Oh, man, you guys, you drive me nuts with Ertz. I think Ertz has not been great. He has been an average, above average tight end, not a Pro Bowler. McNabb was better when he scrambled, not as a pocket passer. Well, he definitely took that part of his game out of himself. He chose not to run. He chose to do that a lot. If you remember the first championship game, I don't know you would, but against St. Louis, he throws an interception late. He was throwing a ball to Fred X. That guy's a dingbat, right? Freddie Mitchell. And it was picked off. But actually, McNabb could have run and got 20 yards and a first down. So I think McNabb hurt himself with wanting to not be labeled a running quarterback. Derek Burnett, 10 sacks this year, over, under. Under. Definitely under. I'm very skeptical of Derek Burnett. Today, from what I heard, I'm very skeptical of Derek Burnett. Personally, I think McNabb is a crybaby bitch that got T.O. kicked out and is overrated. Then I got, oh, it's going away. Then I got, you hear overrated, Eli. Giants lose. McNabb really didn't like Terrell Owens. How could you not like Terrell Owens? I wouldn't care. I would throw, like, if I throw, like, a touchdown pass and everybody's cheering T.O., I'd be like, great, good, great. Because in the end, it's only helping McNabb. And I kind of don't like what McNabb did to Owens, too. You know what I mean? You think the Eagles winning the division? I think the Eagles have a shot. I think they have a shot if Carson Wentz can develop the way I think he can. But I don't think they should be the favorite. I think that's unfair to label them the favorite. I really just don't understand the Ertz hate. He's a top 7 tight end. Well, here's my thing with Ertz. There's a lot of games for, in the beginning of the year. There's a lot of games every year of his career where he is non-existent. Non-existent. Then when the Eagles are eliminated from the playoffs, he has big games. That bothers me. You know what I mean? That bothers me that he disappears like that. And the thing about it is, I mean, we're talking serious numbers differences. Go look at his last 4 games. He had I think he had 85 catches, right? 40 of those catches were like the last 4 games. That means the first 12 games he did crap. And he's done that like 2 or 3 times. So all I'm saying about Ertz is he has the talent. Okay, he has the talent to be very good. He has the talent to be a top 5 tight end. But the thing about it is you got to produce big-time plays in a big-time moment when the situation calls for it. Where's he been? He ain't been nowhere. So why am I giving him so much credit and going to talk about how great Ertz is when he ain't done crap? That's the way I feel about it. I want guys that win in the end. I mean, look at the Patriots. The Patriots win when the game's on the line. Somebody makes a play, right? Butler makes a play, interception, last play of the Super Bowl, right? They make plays. Our guys don't make plays. Now, is that Ertz's fault, or is it the coach's fault, or who? I don't know. But until I see Ertz do it in a game that is clinching the wild card or clinching the playoffs, I'm not gonna say, oh, we got Ertz, we're in good shape. I'm like, I want more Ertz. Dude, give me something. Now, I'll say this about Ertz, though. I will say, having Wentz, and I watched the Eagles review, having him try to seek Ertz out and go to the coaches is a good sign of things to come for Ertz. Deshaun Watson and Jonathan Allen. I missed the... Did the Eagles cut Ryan Matthews already? No, I don't think he's cleared healthy yet to even play. He hasn't even played. I mean, he's not even able to play where they can even cut him. They can't cut him. You know? I don't know. The Eagles are scaring me a little bit. You know, they're scaring me a little bit. What's up, buddy? Yo, Adrian! I want Eric Roback. Yeah, well, you know, thank Howie the Dingbat Roseman for that one. Okay? You know, when I hear Sidney Jones is on the active list, when I see all these one-year contracts, all I can think of is they're so worried about winning more games this year. Like, people think their jobs are on the line. That scares me a little bit. So, hey, guys, some of the questions go by so quick I can't keep up with them. So if I miss it, just keep them coming. Just keep sending it because I can't. There'll be like 4 or 5 questions literally at like one time. Gibson might not make the team either. Going to be Marcus Johnson 6th round, in my opinion. Well, I got to see him play a game first. But somebody with some speed needs to be on this team. They need guys that have some speed. I think their receivers are a little bit on the slow side. I want a guy that can stretch the field. That's why I'm rooting for Gibson. Will he make it? It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good at all. But I want to see him play first. Rookie of the Year, defense, offense, who gets it? Leonard Fournette is going to get Rookie of the Year on offense and in the whole thing. I'm going to go on an outside the box pick for Defensive Player Rookie of the Year. And I'm going to do it because it's going to be my life story and what would piss me off. Malik Hooker is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year because we didn't take him. If the Eagles trade Jordan Matthews, is Matt Collins or Aguilar the leader for the slot? You got to say Aguilar. And I'll say it's Aguilar. Hey, the Eagles are on NFL Network. And it's going to be Aguilar because they're pushing Aguilar already. They're getting you prepared. Cruisin', what's up, Cruisin'? What makes you think quarterback that had 16 touchdowns and 14 interceptions will be good? Because it's what's up here. It's what's in his head. It's how he can let the bad, negative things go. And if you have that ability, if you're mentally strong and you can push through it, then you have a chance. And that's the one thing Carson Wentz has, I think, that a lot of people don't talk about a lot. He has that it factor, and he has that ability. Now, he has to go out and convert it. But that part of him that I saw last year, how he was when things went bad, made me feel like he has that. And that he can come back with a good year. Or Eagles winning division, they got a shot. They got a shot. If you put a gun to my head, I would say no. I would say the Giants are winning division. You know, that's what I would say. Because the Giants, to me, are probably a little more... I like the Giants' defense a lot better than I like the Eagles' defense. I even like their pass rush. I like their ends better. What makes you think declining aging Eli is going to do anything, Cruisin'? That's for you, Cruisin'. Is Captain Hooks the worst head coach currently in NFL? Captain Hooks. Every route is a hook. I don't know that he's the worst, but he's, to me, I did not like Doug Peterson last year. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's a great guy, and if I was a player, I would like him and I would go to war with him. But I'm not impressed with him. Who's Captain Hooks? I call Doug Peterson Captain Hooks during the season because when I was watching the game, one game he was running, all his guys were doing were hook routes, and it was pissing me off. So I labeled him Captain Hooks in a fit of rage because I was so pissed off. That why this year after the game I'm going live straight. I ain't uploading nothing. I'm going live. I'll probably go live with like a minute left in the game because I'm going to be so pissed off or so happy, and it's easier for you to see that. Hey, look, Doug Peterson to me was not very impressive. You think the D-line's top 5? Our D-line, I think it has top 5 potential. I don't think the Eagles have a top 5 defensive line. I like their interior a lot. My question is, I question the ends. Like, who's going to get the sacks for the Eagles this year? Who is going to get 10 sacks? Brandon Graham has never had more than 6.5 sacks. Even last year in his best year, he only had 5.5. So Brandon Graham has to get 10 sacks this year. He has to. Top 5 dingbats? I'll have to think about that. There's so many dingbats to even consider. And as soon as I hear the word dingbats, I just think of the Dallas Cowboys. They're a bunch of dingbats. They got Dingbat Head getting cut. You got Dez Dingbat Bryant being late for practice. I hope Sean McDermott does good. Yeah, I do too. He was one of the guys I was interested in getting as a coach. The guy I wanted was Adam Gase. That was the guy I really wanted the Eagles to get. And unfortunately, he went to Miami and he did a hell of a job, I thought. Brandon Marshall is not washed. No, Brandon Marshall's not washed up. Brandon Marshall, you're going to have Brandon Marshall with Odell Beckham, right? You got Sterling Shepard. I love Sterling Shepard. Dude, the Giants scary, man. They're scary. And if you think that Eli Manning is just going to go quietly and then late, I mean, he may look like a dingbat, but he just looks like it. Jared Goff looks like a dingbat and is a dingbat. The Giants are scary, but Eli may or may not have a great season this year. Yeah, I'll tell you this, though. Let's say Eli Manning throws 22 touchdowns, and let's say he throws 15 interceptions. He gets to the playoffs, they're a scary team to play in the playoffs because they have a good defense and because they have a quarterback who has gone to places like Green Bay, has gone to places like Dallas, has done all that kind of stuff. It kind of makes you wonder, you know what I mean? In my opinion. I got Buffalo going 4-12, Sean. Going to be tough for them. Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo's tough. I haven't done my AFC East. I just about finished my NFC West, and that will be out either tomorrow or the next day at the latest. But we're rolling. Giants are going 11-5, 12-4. Eli can hit receivers on back behind that garbage line. You guys are so crazy. Do you realize, Eagle fans, how delusional we are? Really? I'm not blaming you guys. You should be delusional. I think it's good because I'm delusional too. But man, what gives us the right? What makes us think we're going to win anything? We win never. We never win. We lose all the time. What makes us think we're going to win anything? Are we the dingbats of all dingbats or what? You know, I would say that the Eagles fans are pretty delusional, and then you see the Cowboy fans, and then you realize what true delusion really is. How you feel about our receiving core this year? Well, I like Alshon, right? If he can stay healthy, I love Alshon. I don't like Torrey Smith at all, not even a little bit. I like Jordan Matthews, and I think Mac Hollins. I have a feeling Mac Hollins is going to be pretty good. So I think that overall they'll be much better than they were last year. I don't think they're like some top 5 set of wide receivers in the NFL. I don't think that at all. I don't. And I'm really hoping that somebody with a lot of speed like Torrey Smith can really have a bounce back year. We need somebody to stretch the field, really. You were too honest to be Eagle fan. I'm using Eagle Speed and other delusional videos. Eagle Speed's the man, okay? You know, the thing with the guys that are like delusional, they're younger. See, I'm older. They're younger. So they didn't have all the pain and the suffering that I have had. They'll get there. Believe me, in a couple years, they'll get there. They'll be saying the Eagles stink. They're dingbats. They stink. They're bums. But right now, they think they got a chance. Look, when McNabb was coming up, I was the same way. I was just like them. So I'll never get mad at them at all or anything like that because I know how it is. I just have suffered too much. Cruising. You know, it's just the way it is. But those guys, all the Eagle fans out there that are up and love this team and think we could do everything, we need those guys out there. We need them out there because, man, we need that because the guys, the older people have gone through some tough things. We have a different outlook. We are more skeptical. No question, we can be more negative. I know that. You think I don't know that? But it's truth. It's because of what we see. I mean, dude, how old were they when Tampa Bay beat you the last game at the Vet ever to go to the Super Bowl to play the Raiders, who they would have killed, a team who they never lost to, and then they lose? It's hard on us. Do you think Aguilar is going to have a breakout year? I don't. I think Aguilar is going to basically drop one ball, put his head down, lose all his confidence, and go right back to where he was originally. That's what I think is going to happen to Aguilar. Do I hope it happens? No, I don't. But I don't know. I mean, I just think that it's very hard for Aguilar to break out. But I think the Eagles want him to, and I think they're going to push him because you hear it already. I don't hear the Eagles bragging up Jordan Matthews, but I hear them talking about Aguilar. I know Jordan Matthews is a little banged up, but it scares me. Torrey Smith. Look, Torrey Smith, if we get Torrey Smith before he left, a couple years before he left Baltimore, then I think the whole offense could totally be different. I think the whole thing could change. I think the Eagles will. I think if you get like a Torrey Smith that has a year like that, with the defense playing a little better, I think you win the division. I just don't know. I just don't know. But I think it's possible. Anything's possible. We just have to see what's going to happen. We going 8-8. Oh, I'm more like 9-7 with I'm on the border of 10-6. See, I think the redeeming quality for the Eagles is Carson Wentz. I think he's going to have a huge year. I don't know why people hype up Alshon. He's very overrated in my opinion. Well, I mean, when he, a couple years ago before he got hurt, he was really good. And they did have Brandon Marshall on the team then. But he's been hurt. I think if he doesn't get hurt, I think if Alshon, if Alshon, in my opinion, is healthy all year, I think he's a top 10. You know what I mean? I don't think we could win a division. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but we can. You think our O-line is going to do well? I think that the tackles are going to be dominant. I think even the guards are going to be okay. Only thing I'm worried about is that center. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Spunky. I think that I'm very worried about the center of this team. What will he do? Will he get pushed around, thrown around? That, to me, is the whole question. But I'll say this. I think that the Eagles have probably a definite top 3 tackle pair in the league. Definitely top 3 pair. Now, I don't know. I gotta get some water. But, we'll see. Look, the Eagles could go to the playoffs very easily. When I say something like, I'm not saying that they stink or they're going to be horrible. I think that they're a borderline playoff team. But we need some things to come together. Hi, I'm an Eagles fan from Brazil. Cool. I don't understand so much about defense. Why Jordan Hicks is so good? I think Jordan Hicks is a complete linebacker. He can cover. He can play the run. He can play from sideline to sideline. I think he's very good. I just don't think he gets talked about like the other guys. And that's usually how it goes. You usually, a lot of these guys that become good, the year right before they explode, you'll see them like not get recognition that they deserve, and then they'll get it. So I think he'll get it this year. I think Jordan Hicks could be the best middle linebacker in football. I think he has that kind of skill. I think he's defensive player of the year material. That's how much I like him. How do you have a worse secondary than the Cowgirls? At least we have proven safeties and many lockdown corners, Jones. Well, I don't know that we have. Well, I don't know that we have worse secondary, but they have that running game, and those guys stay off the field a long, long time. You know, we have stinky running backs. Well, hopefully with Blunt, we'll control the ball more, keep the defense off the field. But last year we had McKelvin, he's gone. So now we got basically a rookie starting and a couple journeymen. And then if, you know, you think Mills can actually play, I don't know. Jenkins and McLeod, top 10 safety duo. Yeah, I think they're definitely in the top 10. I think Malcolm Jenkins is phenomenal. I love Malcolm Jenkins. I think he's all over the place. And I think McLeod's, you know, I think McLeod is like that, up and down, you know. But definitely, yeah, I think so. I think top 10 would be very easy for them. They may be even more like top 7. Should we resign McKell if possible? No, I don't think so. I think we're at the point where you either trade for a guy like Kyle Fuller or you go in with what you got, you know. You got to go in. Look, the defensive line has got to come through. You need these guys to get pass rush and sack the quarterback this year and help out those corners. Have everybody on court, you think we're going to make a splash? I think Blunt's going to have 1,100 yards, somewhere around there. Would you rather us sweep the Giants or the Cowboys? Well, sweeping the Giants is like, you know, breathing air. You're going to do it because you beat the crap out of the Giants all the time. So beat the Cowboys and the delusional fan base, that would be really, really fun. So I'll say the Cowboys. Like, beating the Giants is like when you do something so many times, you don't appreciate it as much. And we just beat the Giants all the time, you know? You ain't sweeping us. I already got the broom. I got the broom. I bought a broom, a blue broom. And I'm going to take it out when we sweep you. And I'm going to sweep everything. And I'm going to film it. And then I'm going to show you. And hopefully I can drive around somewhere and there's cockroaches and I can sweep cockroaches. We're going to sweep the Giants. Can you say... I should charge people to say who you want me to say dingbat. I should charge it. Yeah, Packer fans are dingbats. I don't think they are, though. Packer fans are too nice. Dude, I've never met a mean Packer fan. They're always the nicest people. Who's better, Jordan Matthews or Sanu? Sanu? I think Sanu, you know, look, I like Jordan Matthews. I just think he has hands of cement and he's a little slow. We are sweeping the Eagles this year. I don't think so. Would you rather Wentz do great or the defense be elite? I would rather Wentz do great. Because if you have a great quarterback, if you have an elite quarterback, then you're guaranteed to be a contender for the next 10 years. You can fix the defense. But if your quarterback is bad, you're starting all over. It don't matter how good your quarterback is or your defense is. Giants and Eagles will split. Yeah, well, that's the easy answer, right? It's easy to say they'll split. Everybody thinks that. See, this is how you know the Giants will get beat twice by the Eagles. This is how. Giant fans always go right to, we're going to split with the Eagles. We'll split. Like, they're already willing to settle for a split. Eagle fans like, no, we're gonna sweep the Giants. The Giant fans like, no, we're gonna split because they are so worried about the Eagles beating them. They already know they're gonna get swept, and that's how you know it. Are we beating the Redskins week 1? Yeah, we're beating the Redskins week 1. That's the team. Yeah, we're gonna beat the Redskins week 1. I think the Eagles know that they gotta beat the Redskins. Well, yo, Kevin, what's up? Alex Smith is trash, but the Chiefs are still elite because of their defense. I don't like Alex Smith, but I like Travis Kelce. They got a good defense. And Kansas City, like, even if they're bad, it's like, it's so hard to win there that even if they stink, they can still win at home. Kirk Cousins is a dingbat for turning down record money. Yeah, either he's a dingbat or what? Or the Redskins ownership and front office and organization are dingbats. So bad that he would rather give up the money completely than play for them. So one of the two are dingbats, maybe both. Ertz is trash. Matthews is trash. Heck, our whole team is trash. No, I didn't say that. No, I mean, I don't know if you're talking about me, but when I say what I say about Ertz, I'm not saying he's trash. I'm just saying that he has not lived up to where he should be. He has not endeared me to himself. I'm not saying the trash. The Eagles are not trash. These guys are not trash, but they gotta produce. At some point, you gotta win the game that gets you into the playoffs. I think it's more the Redskins front office than Cousins trying to make them look bad. Most likely, yeah. I agree. I remember Brian Mitchell, I heard out of his own mouth, sitting there, he said that owner was a dingbat. Well, he didn't say dingbat, but he meant Dan Snyder's a dingbat. You know? We live in a world of dingbats. What can I say? Do you see Wentz winning an MVP? In his career? I think, look, there's nobody more high on Wentz than me. I think Wentz one day will win an MVP. I think Wentz is going to be good. I think he's going to be an elite quarterback. But I'm telling you what, if he has a bad year this year, or if he takes giant steps back, I reserve the right to rethink that. Ertz is overrated. I think Burton is better. I like Burton. I don't think Ertz is overrated. I just, for whatever it is, he doesn't come up when the games matter. When you're still trying to get to the play, he disappears for long periods of time. Just be consistent. If he's just consistent, he's a top 4 or 5 tight end. If we win the first 3 games, would you change your mind on our play off run? Yeah, I would, Kevin, because that would mean you had beat the Redskins, then you went to Kansas City and beat them. Well, and you know the Giants is already given. So I think if they went 3-0, if they start 3-0 this year, I definitely think you're probably looking at a playoff team. It won't be like last year. Philly fans hate everybody. Yeah. Well, who am I going to like? It would be awesome to get Xavier Rhodes for Ertz. Now, I did want to trade Ertz. I'm not going to lie. There's a video out there. You can see one of my videos where I say, and this is before Cooks even gets traded to New England or you even hear about it. But the season was still going on, and I wanted to get Brandon Cooks and trade Ertz to New Orleans because I was so frustrated with him. There's actual video. You can see that. How do you think Sidney Jones will do when he's healthy? When he's healthy and he finally plays and the Eagles don't destroy his confidence this year, I think he's an elite cornerback. I think he's going to be good. I think he's a stud. I love Sidney Jones. Sidney Jones was like one of the main guys I wanted, definitely. I think Ertz will do good because of the chemistry Wentz is trying to build. Well, I'll tell you this. When I watched the Eagles yearbook and Wentz goes to the sideline, he's like, get Ertz the ball. We got to get Ertz the ball. We got to feed Ertz. I said, whoa, wait a second. You know what? Maybe this is Ertz's time because you have a quarterback who is insistent on getting him the ball. That may be what Ertz needs to be a top 5 tight end in football. You know, I believe Ertz can be a top 5. I believe he has the talent, but he hasn't done it. You know, he has to do it. There's other guys that have done, you know, more and more in big situations. It's not always just stats. It's like, how many times has he just disappeared? I mean, he's disappeared a lot of times for a lot of weeks. He could be a great tight end. We had a bunch of weapons around Wentz, and the defenders won't know to cover. Yeah, you know, wouldn't it have been interesting? We can't change it now, but let's say you had Wentz. Let's say you kept Macklin or Deshaun, and you definitely had Shady McCoy. If you had any of those combinations, and then you had signed Alshon and then had Ertz, I think Ertz would be, I think he would be a huge factor. But I don't look at it like Ertz is getting keyed on and they're shutting him down. For whatever reason, he just disappears. How do you feel about Donald Pumphrey? I think he's very talented. I like that he's very fast and that kind of thing and shifty and he can catch. I don't think he's Sproles. I don't think he is the same type of guy as Sproles. I was watching Pumphrey today. He's small. He is thin and small. Sproles is short and thick and got big legs and powerful. But I'm very excited about Pumphrey. I think maybe from a special teams point of view, I don't know how much they're going to use him, but I can't wait to see him at preseason. I mean, I can't wait for the first game. I'm dying for the first game. You know? I'm dying to have... God, I can't wait for that game. Plack shot himself. After that happened, I know we weren't winning. Yeah, he shot himself and then he went to jail for shooting himself. What kind of laws is that? Get out Ertz Bitterbirds, but don't just start throwing out names. Holly. I love Holly. Holly, man, you remind me of me when I was young, and I thought that the Eagles were going to do everything, and McNabb's throwing up, and he's got hand mittens on, and the Eagles are losing big games, and I thought, they're going to win, and it was always somebody else's fault. You remind me of me. You just wait a few years, you'll get there. Saints or Eagles? Eagles. I'm not big on the Saints. Film couldn't pick up Pumphrey smaller than a blade of... Pumphrey's is small. He is. They may be unpopular opinion, but I think bringing Nick Foles back was one of the best moves we made this offseason. Spunky, I agree. That was probably my second or third favorite move. My first one would be the LeGarrette Blount. Then I enjoyed the Chance Warmack, although I wanted him more than 1 year. Alshon, I would say Alshon if they had signed him to more than 1 year. But I think bringing back Foles was great. Dude, I hated Chase Daniels. I hated Chase Daniels so much. Humphreys needs to build some muscle and he'll be okay. Yeah, I mean, look, he's a rookie. He can get big. Another cowgirl player was caught stealing from Wawa. Who other than Dingbat Head? Are you talking about Lucky Dingbat Head? Or are you talking about a new one? Who now? Cloud, Alshon is overrated. You know what? You probably got me on the video saying that. I don't know if you ever seen the video when Brandon Cooks went to New England. I was pissed because I wanted Brandon Cooks so bad for this team. You think the Eagles will be a Super Bowl team in like 2 or 3 years? Yeah, I do. See, here's my thing. I think that there's some guys I don't like on the team. There's some guys I think that are way overrated. But I think what's going to redeem the Eagles this year is the play of the quarterback. I think Wentz is going to be an elite quarterback. I mean, that's what I'm banking my season on. And I think that because of that, we're going to be in playoff contention because he's going to carry this team. And I think when he does that, I think he's going to be an MVP finalist. I don't necessarily think Torrey Smith is the best guy. I don't necessarily think Ertz is the best guy. But I think that Wentz is an elite franchise quarterback coming up. I expect him. I'm telling you, I expect him to have the kind of year Mariota had last year without the injury. Because if you remember, Mariota was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. And let me tell you something. I wanted Mariota his second year in college. I was telling people, I have a whole plan. I'll see if I can find it. I have a whole, like a 5-page paper, and it's like how to get Mariota when he comes out in 2 years. And that was the title of it. And I had a whole plan how to get the first pick in the draft and be in a position. Because I wanted Mariota back then. That's how much I wanted him. I watch every game because I'm out here in California for the time being. Oregon's on TV every week. I watch them every week. And I knew that guy's spectacular. So even his second years, I was ready for him. Sidney Jones is only 180 pounds. Yeah, he's gonna have to bulk up at some point. You guys aren't really scared about Sidney Jones playing his first year with an Achilles. I mean, that scares the hell out of me. Do you think it's better receiver, Dez or Jeffrey? I'm Dez Bryant. And I mean, look, he's got to stay healthy. He's not healthy enough to be considered. How do you feel about our coaching staff year 2? Specifically Doug, Philadelphia fan. Thanks for the question. I think that I'm very skeptical of Doug Peterson. There are a lot of things that he did that I didn't like that scare me. But I'm willing to say he's a rookie last year. Wipe the slate clean. Let's start over. And let's go. I like Doug as a person. I think he's a good person. And I think that he deserves this year to try. I think that that's fair. So I'm open-minded about him, but there are things I worry about him. I think Carson's ceiling is higher than Mariota. I don't disagree with you, but I think Mariota had a hell of a year 2. You should do a fantasy league with your subscribers. That's something we can do. I mean, that's something I definitely can think about doing. If people really want to do it, I'll do it. There's nothing I love more than fantasy football. Anybody that wants Sidney Jones play is a dingbat. Spunky, I agree with you, but the Eagles have him on the active list. I think that's crazy. See, that tells me the front office is worried. That tells me that they're worried. They're worried about winning a lot of games. Maybe Howie the Dingbat Roseman is worried that he's going to lose his job. So he's trying to blow up the wins. You think Jim Schwartz is doing good as a defensive coordinator? I don't think he's doing bad. I'm not a big fan of his system. I don't like the wide nine. I'm not a wide nine guy, and I don't like that he doesn't like to blitz. But I mean, as a defensive coordinator, I guess he's fine. I wouldn't want him as a head coach. I don't want Jones to turn out to be Ryan Howard. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like I can't. When I think about it, I just can't understand what benefit do you get out of rushing this kid back. I think that we should have Sidney Jones play a few snaps just to get him experience. Well, I mean, you think about all the rookies that play in their first game, right? And they always say they get there and they're trying to get used to the speed and it's uncomfortable and there's just so much going on. There's so much confusion. So that's a normal guy that's healthy. Now you're going to have a guy that is literally worrying about his Achilles at the same time. I don't understand how that combination can produce a good result in his first year. I think it would set him back, personally. Maybe Sidney Jones is coming along faster than first anticipated. Maybe. I mean, I'm not there, right? I'm not a doctor there. I'm not a staff. I'm not a coach. So I don't really know. I can only speculate. But when I hear, play this year after Achilles, it scares the hell out of me. I missed that question. I don't know if it was for me. What would you like to see from running back rotation? Which combo is best for us? I mean, I would like to see Blunt as the lead back. Everything I want Blunt in there. I want Sproles to be the number 2 guy. I want to mix in Smallwood. That would be great. And if you want to sit there and use Pumphrey in like slot ways and that kind of thing, I'm definitely all for it. Oh, Holly, okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take about 3 more questions and then I got to go because it's getting a little late here and I got some stuff I have to do. But I'll do about 3 more questions and then we'll do this again later at some point this week or something. I got some prediction shows coming, that kind of thing. We have Jalen Mills and Rasul Douglas. He sounds like he's having a Mills type all season. Hopefully that translates to training camp and preseason. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what Jalen Mills does. Better season, Eagles or Bucks? Gosh, Chris, you want to kill me. I think the Bucks are scary. I think the Buccaneers are a scary, scary team. And I think right now I'd give them the slight nod because I think their defense is underrated and I think they got a lot of weapons. But I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. I'm thinking about doing a Hard Knocks review. Does anybody like Hard Knocks? Because I like to watch it, so I might have to come on and talk about it. I might have to do another channel or something. I don't know. I need to talk about it. I say if we both finish 10-6. Hey, 10-6. Look, I have them right now. I have them 9-7. So 1 win to get to 10 wins is possible. One loss to get to 8-8 is possible. So I think that area is very possible. My hope is that we get to 10-6. That's what I want to say. Leaving to go watch? No, I'm not going to go watch Phillies baseball. I don't have the major league package. I usually get all 4 things, but I can't because I can't stand watching them lose. How do you feel if we took a wide receiver and safety in the next draft? Cloud. My opinion always with the draft is first pick, best player on the board, unless it's a kicker, punter, or quarterback if you have a quarterback. So I have no problem with it. I have the Eagles at 10-6, maybe 11-5 at best. Hey, hi Holly, you have them 10-6, 11-5. I have them 9-7. We're talking 1 game, maybe 2. So that's not bad at all, I definitely think that's not bad. So listen, guys, I appreciate you watching. It was fun. I had a lot of fun, and we'll definitely be doing this again later. I'm gonna have to run now, but I'll talk to you guys later. Turning on post notification, Philly, one of my favorites. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I tell you what, it's so hard to talk because I'm talking and I just see all this stuff scrolling. I can't keep up with it. Have a good night, Reggie. Love it. We'll do this again. We'll do this again in a few days. or at some point, you know. And if anything breaks, any news, any breaking news, I'm going to do everything live reaction, live breaking news, all that stuff. But we'll definitely be doing this again. Thank you for coming to my stream. Thank you for my show, you know, coming to my show. I had fun with all you guys. Take care and I'll talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat, like dingbat head.